guys and gals? Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. As some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today, as you can see, I am coming at you with a new Let's Play series on Broken Harbors. That's right, y'all. They are having an event where they are giving away their game for free. Grab it while it's hot, y'all. I'll be doing the not safe for work run of this, and this will be a safe for work run, and my not safe for work run will be reserved for the patrons. So, y'all will get some of the juicy content. Because I can't really post the juicier stuff on YouTube. So, yeah, y'all get it. But yeah, if y'all want some of that juicy, not safe for work content, y'all check out our Patreon. It's as little as $5. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm, Chan, you are up. And let's go. Alright. This visual novel features suggestive and sexually explicit material. Do you want to disable it? Yes. Rune! The hands on the deer's watch moved unusually slowly, tapping out a languid marching rhythm. It was a beautiful day, the kind that happens maybe once or twice in November. No clouds draped across the vastness of the open blue sky, the lightest breeze carrying the salty smell of the sea, gentle sun warming up necks and paws, the last breath of summer. Yet the beauty of it was lost on the deer. Standing under a statue of a dignified caribou clad in regal robes, he was alternating between glancing at his watch and the constant stream of people passing him by on the busy pedestrian street. Wearing only red corduroy trousers and a yellow t-shirt draped over his toned frame of an athletic student, he stood out among the pastel sweaters and subdued coats, like a butterfly on an autumn lawn, attracting passing glances, but engrossed in his own world, he paid them no attention. Hello? Rune? A tall black panther dressed in a light jacket and a white sweater underneath emerged from the crowd and approached the deer, looking a bit lost, his steps unsure, as if wondering if he was in the right place. His aura carried much more seriousness than the deer's relaxed one. He looked 30 or maybe slightly older, with a frowned expression on his face. Ah, it's you. Good. Coach, hello! The deer perked up, looking up at the panther. It felt unfamiliar to him, having to look up to look someone in the eyes. At above 1.9 meters height, he was already towering above most. I hope you didn't wait for me for too long. I thought this place was a bit closer. Sorry. 15 minutes is not a big deal, don't worry. How are you today? You have a nice morning? Good, thanks. And you? I'm fine. Popped into a store to buy some berries on my way here if you want some. Do you want to caffeinate yourself first, or can we start? I had breakfast and a coffee already. I'm good to go. So, have you been here before? I think this is a good starting point. No, never. I haven't seen almost any of the city yet. The unpacking, paperwork, and university kept me busy. Then we're at the old town of Anslow. It doesn't look particularly impressive because it really is old and a lot of it was already turned into ruins. It was never a rich town either prior to the last century. A lot of Norwegian architecture used wood instead of stone, so the durability wasn't as good and not many buildings survived intact. By the way, we're standing under the statue of Jacob Blitzen. Blitzen, come on. A 19th century king who stirred up a lot of controversy by marrying a bear. The royal family consisted purely of reindeer back then, but even among the population, the idea of interspecies marriage was rather polarizing. They joined the stream of people walking side by side, the deer pointing in various directions and gesticulating wildly while speaking, the panther nodding, his paws stuffed into the pockets of his jacket. Choosing the most scenic paths and avoiding roads, the deer led him through tourist attractions and local spots alike, showing him the corners of the city less known. The deer knew the town like his own backyard, having lived there his whole life, but showing it to someone else kind of kindled a newfound excitement in him. To the panther, everything was new and fresh, and his gaze clung to every building, old and new, every wooden rooftop, every small street looking as if they were straight out of a fairy tale. Gawking around in awe, the panther forgot about his reservations and clung closer to the deer until their shoulders brushed against each other. Oh, sorry. The deer didn't want the panther to feel self-conscious, again hiding behind the distance that diminished so much already over the course of this walk, so he bumped his shoulder against the felines playfully, chuckling. So, how do you like the city so far? I'm liking it a lot. I think I'll enjoy living here. It feels like a city, but without all the cons that come with it. There's no pollution, little traffic, and I have everything I need within walking distance. But there is the language barrier. The luggage barrier. Well, there is a language barrier. I started learning Norwegian before I got here, but it'll be a long time before I'm anywhere near fluent. Second now, water time. Alrighty. Really? You seem to have a solid grasp on it. At least you had no problems leading the exercises. Well, I can speak a little. I had to get a language certificate before I got the job, of course. Leading exercises is easy. At least Norwegian sounds really nice. It's a pleasure to learn. Harder is taking part in discussions, and I don't want everyone to go out of their way to speak English and switch to English just to include me in the conversation. Well, that's the polite thing to do. And almost everyone here speaks English anyway. It's easy to find people to talk to. Ugh. Yeah, but no one really is happy about it. People prefer to speak in their mother tongue. Don't get me wrong, everyone and especially other teachers are doing their best to make me feel welcome, but I know how it is. It's just tiring having a foreigner in the room. And there's a difference between friends and colleagues and acquaintances. You're the first one here to invite me anywhere, in fact. Oh, I didn't know that. Frankly, I was surprised he accepted my invitation, but now I see why. Yeah. Doesn't help that the rest of the faculty is mostly much older than I am. How old are you, in fact, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, no, I'm 29. Ah, that has to be it. But just jealous of how young and fit you are. Oh, sure. That's about it in this area. We could take a metro and go to the artist district. What do you think? Actually, there's somewhere I thought about going. Anslo has a beautiful coast. It would be nice to be a nice finish to the tour. Could we get there now somehow? Oh, sure, it's not far from here, actually. We don't even need the metro. And if you listen close enough, you can even hear the sea right now. Indeed, under the usual noise of the street, voices and bus engines, there was a gentle rolling, a promise of sifting sand, of soft, salty breeze. Unless you're tired and would rather ride there. Oh, not in the slightest. I have some stamina. Have faith in me. Okay, down this road then. They made their way through the winding, centuries-old streets, the ocean smell growing stronger with each turn, until the blue vastness finally opened up before them. Oh! The water glimmered in the early afternoon sun, deep cerulean mirroring the spotless sky above it. Behind the land continued into a crescent forming a bay. On the other side, white sleek ships lined the wharf, tall and futuristic, more works of art than mere vessels. A wide boulevard ran alongside the water, lined with street lamps, elegant and simple, and benches, with trendy shores and expensive-looking restaurants with huge windows on the other side. And there were no cars, not a billboard or an ad in sight. Nothing to detract from the charm of this place. Yeah, it's nice. So, you've never been here before? No, only at the other bay, where those modern museums are. Ah, the main waterfront. It's just behind that hill. I much prefer this one, even if it's less known. I see why. That one had a busy street going all around it. Yeah, it's much nicer to walk here. There are a few city beaches, too, but they're farther away from here. I assume this would be fine. More than fine. It's the sea I like. Great. And so they strolled along the coast, past the piers and yachts, crepe stands and cafes, basked in a golden glow, like a memory of summer. A ferry roared its horn as it approached the wharf. People on board standing at the railing, anxious to get out, all of different shapes and sizes, of all species imaginable. At the front was a pair, a bear and a moose, holding paws. The sight took Devon by surprise, and he couldn't help but stare, his gaze locked on these joined paws, fingers intertwined in a reassuring gesture. Wincing from some pain unidentifiable, he stuffed his own paws deep into his pockets, closing by themselves on his phone and wallet. Checking out. Water time. Absorbed by the wonders of the city, both ancient and modern, his gaze had never landed on the people around them. But gazing around them, he noticed that the two on the boat were far from being the only gay couples out in public. Hey, everything alright? He averted his gaze finally, refocusing on the deer he was with. Yeah, everything's fine. Still, he felt a pulling in his stomach, deeply uncomfortable, his own memories and hidden insecurities resurfacing. The pain was still too recent, the memories too real. He felt like breaking into a run, but he couldn't. Not here. Not with Rune, not with all the people around. This was not his hometown. There were no stretches of field so wide one couldn't see the end. No road stretching into forever. Whenever he was scared, he ran. Whenever he was bullied, he ran. Whenever it was too much, he ran. but not here. There was something else, though. I could untangle the strings, relax his muscles, loosen the cords pulling on his stomach. Are you hungry? A bit. We've been walking for quite some time already. Why? I'm hungry too, and I don't have anything for dinner. How about we pop into one of the restaurants here? Here? It'd be expensive as hell. It's a very chic spot. I mean, with this view, the prices are really extra. But I like it here. It'll be my treat. It's the least I can do to thank you for the tour. No, you don't have to. It was my pleasure. I love the city and showing it to others. Still, I insist. I stole you for the entire evening. It's only fair that I compensate you somehow. If you really insist. And we can go someplace cheaper. I don't want to ruin your bank account. It'll be fun to eat here. The job pays more than I thought it would. It won't make a dent in my wallet. Do you know any of these places? Not really. I've been to some of these cafes, but the best they offer are cinnamon rolls. A bit earlier, there was one that looked good. How about we turn back and check it out? I'm fine with whatever. Lead the way. They got lucky. The little tables were left empty were almost all booked when they arrived. There was one last two-person table at the window on the upper floor. The lively voices mingled together into a colorful background, unobtrusive, permeated with a sense of afternoon tranquility that seemed fitting for the minimalistic steel, brick, and glass aesthetic of the place. Oh my, this is fantastic. Though I'm still not sure what it is. What was it called? Antichurros? I think the menu said cauliflower, anticucos, and chimichurra. You've never tried Peruvian food before either. Never, but maybe I should have. This is the best fish I've ever had, and it works so well with the pomegranate. Better than I could have guessed. And that's ceviche, right? Yeah, my favorite, though I've only had it done the Mexican way. This one tastes so fresh, and it could be today's catch. And the wine pairing is spot on. I think it's well worth the price. The deer winced, still remembering the shock he felt when he looked at the menu and the prices attached. They didn't catch him off guard completely. When a waiter showed them to their table and pulled out the chairs for them, he already knew that this wasn't an ordinary place, as was apparent for Devon from the start from the plaque with the red plate hanging next to the entrance door. He wanted to protest, but they got the last table available, and Devon argued that it would be a waste to give it up and leave. The heavenly taste of his meal was just a tiny bit bittered by the exorbitant cost of it. Still, it had already happened. The deer knew better than to ruin their fun with his reservations. Let the panther repay him as he sees fit. The seed of pomegranate he bit through was full of juice, sweet and tart. You didn't have any Peruvian restaurants where you lived? Oh, hell no. We've had a local diner and a barbecue restaurant after that. That's all. Oh, I assume you're living in a big city. I'm not sure why. Sorry. When I think of the U.S., I think mostly of places like New York, Seattle, and California. All these are at one of the coasts. I'm from the landlocked Midwest. Which state? Ohio. Not much I know about that one. It's mostly farmlands as far as the eye can see. There's some small towns, plus of course Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus. Oh, I've heard of Cincinnati from that TV series about the afterlife. They called it the Medium Place, if I'm not mistaken. Not the best recommendation. Have you watched it? It's fantastic, if you ignore the repeating romance subplots. I don't think I have. I haven't watched anything for a while. So, one at a time. And I live closer to Cleveland or Toledo. I don't know Cincinnati that well. So I reckon you didn't like it there much if you moved. Well, no. I'm not sure yet if I'll find my place here, but for sure I'm glad I moved away. Actually, why Norway? Canada's so much closer if you felt like you needed a change. That was an easy choice. I got a dual citizenship. Norwegian by law of blood, American by law of the land. My mother's from here. Oh, I had no idea. And she didn't teach you Norwegian? Just a bit, but I barely remember it. At home, we spoke almost only English. They thought it would be best if I mastered English first and get to some good university. Still, that's really cool. Where's your family from? Trondheim. I've even been there a few times as a kid. We stopped coming for holidays after I was 6 or so. Haven't been there, but I've heard it's a nice city. By the way, I'm not touching on some personal topics, I hope. Tell me if I cross the line or something. Maybe I should change Rune's voice a little bit. Just so I can differentiate them in a conversation. Nope, you're good. Don't worry. It's quite nice talking with you, actually. Oh, he's from Ohio. Maybe he should be... Okay. Maybe I should do a little bit of a southern thing for Devon. I think I'd like that. A southern Devon. Southern Panther Daddy. Or, I'm sorry, Melanistic Jaguar Daddy. Thank you. Same with you. It's interesting to meet someone from another continent. So, how's the U.S.? What made you want to move? And Southern Devon's voice will wait until the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.